What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Joe's Madness. If you're new to the channel and have a passion for combat sports, punch that subscribe button into submission. And if you enjoyed this video, slap the like button like a pimp. Share the video with your family and friends and all over the internet if you want. And let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section. Do you agree with this prediction or not? Which fighter are you going for, and how do you think the fight will be finished? We got UFC Fight Night 111 coming to us from Singapore on June 17th, 2017, and it is going to be a fun one, and it's going to be exclusively on the Fight Pass. Now we got Rafael dos Anjos making his UFC welterweight debut, as he's been with the UFC for a long time, since like 2008 I believe, and he has a record of 14-7 in the UFC. Pretty sure all of those fights are in the lightweight division at 155, as he was the champion for a little while there. Not a long time though, but he had a nice little run as the champ there, and now it's been bouncing around. But anyways, he's going to be going against Tarec Saffiedine, the Sponge, ranked number 11 in the welterweight division, from Belgium, with a record of 16-6. Rafael dos Anjos' pro record is 25 wins, 9 losses, and he is ranked number 5 in the lightweight division, as he hasn't had a welterweight fight, so it wouldn't make sense for him to be ranked in the welterweight division yet. So I am going to be going with Rafael dos Anjos to win this by KO TKO in the third round over Tarec Saffiedine Sponge. The Sponge has only lost once by KO TKO, and that came at the hands of Rory McDonald in what was an instant classic at UFC Fight Night 54 by TKO in the third round. That was an awesome fight. Since Tarec has been in the UFC, he has gotten 2 wins with 3 losses. He's on a 2-fight losing streak right now, as well as Dos Anjos is, but they're both, both losses are in different weight classes, as Saffiedine has been in the welterweight division, and Dos Anjos is coming from the lightweight division with losses to Alvarez, where he lost the UFC lightweight championship by TKO in the first round at UFC Fight Night 90, and then he lost to Tony Ferguson at UFC Fight Night 98 by unanimous decision in a 5-round war. He did, though, run through Donald Cerrone in the first round at UFC on Fox 17 in the by TKO when he retained the lightweight title, but he did beat Anthony Pettis to claim the UFC lightweight championship back at UFC 185 in what was an awesome war that went 5 rounds. Now, it's very interesting that he's moving up. I like that, actually, when guys fight closer to their natural weight. I would like to see somebody by the name of Khabib Nurmagomedov to go up to the welterweight division, as he always seems to have a hard time making weight and is constantly pulling out of fights due to illness or injury. For the lightweight division, I think he'd be a star and a stud in the welterweight division, as I think Dos Anjos will be as well. He's got a lot of power, and he's got multiple submission wins as well. He's got 5 wins by KO TKO, 8 wins by submission, 12 times he's won by way of judges' decision. He's lost 9 times, 6 of those losses come by judges' decision. He's been submitted once as a pro, and he's lost twice by KO TKO. Who was it that submitted him? Was Clay Guerrier, by submission, a jaw injury, it says here. I'm actually, for some reason, that's not ringing a bell to me for UFC 117. I'm going to have to go back and check that. I do remember Silva and Chael Sonnen fighting there. But it's crazy, though. He's been fighting in the UFC since UFC 91, back when Couture and Lesnar main evented that event in what was a heavyweight clash in 2008, and he lost by KO against Jeremy Stephens, and Jeremy Stephens is still fighting in the UFC as well. It's pretty crazy. But he lost his first 2 UFC fights, and then went on a 3-fight win streak, and then back and forth, and he had a 5-fight win streak, and then lost to Khabib at UFC on Fox 11. Then he went on a nice run, and he claimed the UFC lightweight championship, and then since he lost the title, he hasn't won. Can he pull it back together? I believe so, and I believe he will do a really good job in the welterweight division. And it's going to be interesting to see, like, if he can get through Tarec Saffiedine. Once if he can beat him, who could he fight next? As he's fighting a guy who is highly ranked. Well, not highly. I mean, he is in the top 15. Who would Dos Anjos fight next if he can beat Saffiedine? If Saffiedine beats Dos Anjos, who should he fight next? Those are questions to be answered after this fight. Now, Saffiedine, he has lost one time only by KO TKO, never been submitted as a pro. He's lost 5 times by decision. He's on a 2-fight losing streak to Rick Story at UFC Fight Night 88, and then Dong Hong Kim at UFC 207 by split decision. The last time he won was January 30th, 2016 at UFC at Fox 18 over Jake the Juggernaut Ellenberger by unanimous decision. Now, he has got 1 win by KO TKO, 5 wins by submission, and 10 wins by decision. 15 times he's gone to the judge's decision. He doesn't have many fights as a finish. With finishes, he's got 6 out of his 22 fights that come by way of finish for him winning them, and then 1 where he got finished, and that was by Rory McDonald, the only man to stop Saffiedine in his pro career so far. Now, he's got submissions with key locks, arm triangle chokes, arm bars, Kimuras, so if it goes to the ground, Dos Anjos has to be careful that Saffiedine doesn't snatch up an arm and submit him, So that's, if Saffiedine's going to win, I think he would win by submission, but I am sticking with the pick of Rafael dos Anjos to win this one by KO TKO in the 3rd round. So, obviously it's either that or a decision for Dos Anjos, but I believe he's going to win, but with a finish in the 3rd round. If you like this video and you agree with my prediction, slap the like button like a pimp. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down below in the comments section. Share the video with your family and friends. And if you haven't yet, punch that subscribe button into submission here at Joe's Madness on YouTube. Thanks for watching. Combat sports is awesome, and you guys are amazing.